Alrighty. Just gotta get the ball rolling. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's continue getting this stuff up and running. So, um, first things first, I need to add some additional swimming animations for swimming left, right, and, well, you can see, right now we can swim forward. Even if I swim back, the moment the animation hits the particular point, it actually runs the function that triggers forward velocity pull. We need to fix that. We can fix that by having an animation that works a little bit better. Well, hello there. Welcome. Welcome to City 17. Okay, so I'm going to open up player hands. We might have to retexture them too. Hand. FPS hands. FPS hands version 2. July 13. Yeah, that's the one. Perfect. Hello. Welcome back. Okay, so we have swim loop, but that's only forward. We need to have a backward one as well. So let's do swim loop forward. It's gonna break a few things. Okay. Let's go to maybe idle, and then duplicate it from idle. Whoops. And this has to be swim left loop, and then swim forward loop. The loop has to be at the end of the name. Okay. Protect it so it doesn't get deleted. And how many frames is the forward swim? 67? That's an oddly specific number. All right. The heck? Where are there still animation frames? Oh, right. Our good old friend, non-linear animation editor. Get rid of all that. There we go. And of course, that has goofed up the pose, so I'm gonna have to do that first, and then do this. There we go. Perfect. We're going to make this probably 60 frames in total. Although I should probably set the position first. Speaking of which, I might want to handle the whole wrist twist situation here, because we haven't actually set up the proper solution for that. I think we have something here, but it's only a partial solution. It's not really the best option. Okay, let's see. This may or may not break something, but if it is going to break something, it's better that it breaks now than later. All right. I think we should be okay with doing this. Let's get rid of this bone. Lower arm left. I'm going to duplicate it. We're going to make it a child of lower arm left. We're going to subdivide it 2 times. So we got Actually, three times. So we got 4 bones in total. Okay, and here's what we need to do. We need to actually make sure that all 4 of those bones are paired to the lower arm left, and they're not connected. So this one is the lower arm left. I can hide this bone. Oh, well. There we go. I need the long one. There we go. What the shit? Hey. That's the bone. So where's the middle one? What happened to that? Yeah, this one. It's there. Okay. Hide that bone. Select all... What the shit is that? Oh, I think it's me holding shift, so it selects the, Yeah, what? What is this? Am I losing my mind? Paste. Right-click, copy to selected, and it teleports. I think we need to first make it not be connected, and then copy this. There we go. That's what we want. Perfect. I think so. Aye, aye. Separate hand animation to put full body skeleton. Yeah, you do so using animation tree and blend modes. Okay. Cool. So this is set up. Now, that bone that I hid, we actually need to make this bone not be deformed bone. That's important. Then I can hide it. And it is important that all these bones are separate. They have to be separate. Okay. And that's basically it for that. Something else that I do is I make sure that this bone cannot be like pulled away. Because I think right now you can actually like pull it away. Yeah, you see you can pull it away really, really far from the hand. Now we can use a limit distance modifier for this, but what I'm actually going to do is just going to make this be connected again. That, yes, we need to make it be connected, but we need to make it be connected for the forearm. So it's a bit of a different way of handling the hand. Now, I am going to duplicate this bone because that bone has all the animations. We are going to call it wrist handle.l. Okay. And then I'm going to take this wrist bone. This wrist bone is going to go back to being connected to the lower arm. Lower arm. This is left. Yes. And it is physically connected to it. Okay. That's good. What do we do next? Well, this lower arm, if I'm going to go into pose mode, this wrist, technically, needs to follow wrist handle. I'm going to select wrist handle. Looks like it has a child-off constraint. Wrist item. Right. That makes sense. This is for animating when we're holding something, which I don't think we need it on. We don't need it on the wrist. Yes. And what we do need is we need a copy rotation. It's going to be copying the rotation of wrist handle left. And it's going to be replacing world space. Good. The child off is still on the wrist handle, so I can actually hide the wrist now. And the wrist handle, this is important, has to be a part of the root, which it still is. Okay, now I'm gonna make sure that I select wrist, or wrist handle has to be a control bone, non-deform. Okay, and hopefully, if we did this right, we should still have all of our animations. As a matter of fact, the wrist needs to not copy rotation, it needs to copy transforms of the wrist handle. It will replace in world space. There we go. Okay, and then before we proceed, I'm going to take this hand, and I'm going to assign with automatic weights. Pose mode, okay. So, hide the wrist handle stays, and then we got nada. Why do we got nada? Probably because inverse kinematics has to be wrist handle. Okay, yes. Fascinating. Don't use tail? No, we have to use tail. What else are we missing here? Something about this bone. It is connected. Oh, maybe that's the problem. No. Should be connected. Inherit rotation. That part might be a problem. Okay, so I think it's battling the two bones there. So that begs the question, should this really be connected? Ah, well there you go. There's the answer to that question. Okay, so we took the wrist and make it not be directly connected. So that seems to work okay now. So next part of the problem, I'm just gonna hide that. That's the wrist lower arm bone. Next part of the problem is that when we twist the wrist, you can see it collapses. So to solve this issue, we will have these bones that we gradually rotate to compensate for that, but we're not going to do so manually. We're going to do so via constraints. So I'm going to put this thing back into rest pose. Actually, no. I'm going to clear transform all. Okay, and then we specifically made these 4 wrist bones disconnected from each other, so their rotation doesn't affect their children, because they're not children anymore, they're just 4 independent bones. And what we're going to do is say that this bone has to copy the rotation of this bone, but only halfway, only by 50%. So we're going to do copy rotation only on the y-axis. I made a mistake of forgetting to uncheck the other 2. It will be in local space, and you should give these guys names. So wrist twist base dot L, wrist twist lower dot L, wrist twist mid dot L, wrist twist tip dot L. So this will be borrowing from wrist twist tip dot L, but only by 50%. So when I rotate this, I'm going to set this to local axis. There we go. So you can see when I rotate the tip, it rotates this bone by only by half. And then we continue with the same approach. So we do copy rotation only on the y-axis, local space, And copy from the armature, wrist twist mid. I can do half as well. Probably a bit much. Let's go 30%. Okay. And then this is the last one. This one has IK, which it really shouldn't have IK on it. We have that long bone from which we had subdivided that has the IK. So that's perfectly fine as it is. And let's do copy rotation. Not limit rotation, copy rotation. There we go. Only on the y-axis, local space, local space. And then we're going to be copying wrist twist lower by about 20%. There we go. So that pretty much mitigates our issue with the wrist twist. So we do this, and then we do this. That twists the whole arm and gives us the appropriate spacing. Okay. I do think I made the wrist a little bit too small here. Oh, maybe I didn't. There we go. Nice. Okay, now we need to propagate the same thing to the other side without losing, well, animations. So let me double check something here. Do we still have the animations for the other, let's say, swing forward? How was your birthday? Was it a total hangover or chill, kind of? We went to a restaurant, and it was fairly, fairly basic. I don't think there's a, I don't think the total hangovers are a thing after a certain age. Not that I've ever really gone all the way to total hangover. I'd like to remember my birthdays. Thank you very much. Okay, now this is interesting. I was under the impression that we would preserve the animations. And it looks like there's issues. Wrist twist L position. Okay, so there's no more wrist twist itself. That's the this is the handle. Well, that's curious. Ah, man. Is that really the case? I think that copying the bone doesn't copy the frames with it. So we've systematically just erased all of the animations on that hand. And that's going to happen on the other hand as well. Well, that sucks. Yep. Can only pop at the best. May the animations turn out nice. Yeah, dude. Hopefully it will be okay, but it seems like if we refactor this armature, we're gonna lose the animations we've done so far. Well, that sucks. Okay. Well, it is what it is. One step forward, two steps back. But then again, once you sort out what the armature should look like, you don't tend to necessarily change it. So once we go through these hurdles and figure out what the armature should look like for FPS games, then we don't have to worry about this sort of stuff again. Okay. You know what? Sure. Fine. We're gonna redo the animations. Well, actually, hold on a second. Can't I retarget? I'm gonna try something. Okay, I'm gonna see about importing. Okay, we have the animation still, so I'll import the GLTF file afterwards. If we're going ballistic, then I suppose we don't really have to worry about preserving anything. Just delete the bones. Yep. Alt H, make sure that everything is visible. Select everything. Symmetrize. There we go. All the names seem to be good. And then select this, Control P, automatic weights. Cool. And then we don't need to be in pose mode. Okay, let's do swim forward. Okay, so all the bones that haven't been refactored are still animated, which is the fingers and the head. Okay, so let's see if I can pull something off here. This may or may not work. Retarget. I'm going to go to import GLTF. And then we're going to import the ones that are exported in the game. Model, player, hands. FPS hands. Okay. So let's do swim forward first. This one. Swim forward loop. Okay. Okay, so those animations are still there. That's good. Let me display. In front. Yes. Okay, so we only need to retarget this temporarily. Wrist handle. I think the wrist will hide that. Because we need to be animating the wrist handle, not the wrist itself. Take the wrist handle. There's a child of constraint here, but that's for item animations. For now, we're going to do copy transform of that other armature. Come on. Wrist left. Is that really the right armature? Hold on a second. Imported armature. Nope. Okay. Wrist left. Uh-huh. Okay. Beautiful. So that can be retargeted. Thankfully, we only need to animate the this bone. So let's disable this for the time being. Let's do copy transforms, imported armature, wrist right. Okay. Beautiful. What's next? Well, next, we need to actually bake this animation. So let's try selecting all the bones. The elbow bones I'm not going to worry about. That should be perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, we don't need to bake all the bones. We just need to bake the wrist handles. Okay, and then we do animation, bake action from 0 to 60, visual keying, only selected bones. Overwrite current action, yes please. And then this should be up to 67. Okay, there we go. So we've just baked the motion. We're going to disable the copy transforms from both of these. And there we go. And then hypothetically, I can just delete this armature just as a quick test. Delete. And then we still have our swimming animation. Actually, no, hold on. There we go. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, so we don't have to lose all of our animations. We're good. We can get this to work. So I'm going to bring this back. Realistically, I just have to go through all the animations here. So this is swim forward. We're done with that. Reset is okay. Yeah, let's just... What is this? That's just a stationary single frame. Okay. So instead of swim forward, this is going to be reset. Nice. And realistically, all I have to do here is just bake visual location rotation. Nice. Fantastic. Let's move on. Next. Let's do hydrogen small. Okay, insert hydrogen cell small. Cool. That didn't actually switch to the correct animation. I need to be in object mode to switch it. Okay. You know what? I think the elbow bones should be baked as well. What is this? Head, control, elbow R. Okay. Elbow right. That's curious. Okay, and this would be elbow left. Okay, so that's almost correct. It doesn't seem like it lines up quite the same. Oh, right, because the shoulder has to be moved as well. Okay, well, we animated the shoulder. Let's see. What's it called? Upper arm. There we go. Yep. Because we were animating the shoulder in different poses to get the animation to look right. So, gonna have to do this. Upper arm left. Alright. It is what it is. Cool. So this is hydrogen small. It is 137th frames. Cool. And now we need to select all the bones that this needs to work with. I'm going to make this not show always on top. Okay. What are we animating? Shoulders, elbows, wrists. Clear transform. Nope, we need bake action. From 0 to 137, override current action, which is insert hydrogen cell small. Okay. Beautiful. Guess the animation's in. Fantastic. Control end. The heck? Control end. Oh, is that... Oh, that sets the duration of the timeline to where the tracker is. The timeline tracker. Okay. Yeah, that's handy. Alright, let's get this. It's gonna be medium. This goes up to 137 as well. Actually, yeah, 135. Or 130. Okay. I still have the bones selected, so that's good. Medium. Oh no, this one goes to 140. 137. Okay. Bake action. There we go. Alright. And then this is going to be the large. This one's 140. Okay, that doesn't look quite right. Hold on a sec. Huh. Okay, why is this one going to give us trouble? Oh. because we're telling it to play the wrong animation. This has to be large armature. Okay. Alrighty. Here goes nothing. Fake action. Beautiful. Fantastic. What else do we need? We need idle. Okay, so idle, armature 1. What the heck? How long is this? $208. Machine tools. I've heard of that plugin. Okay. Okay, that's a little weird. It looks like it's late. Idle armature 1. Yes. And then this one is just idle. Okay. Yeah, that seems a little weird. Let's not bake that one. Extract. Oh yeah, we gotta do the extraction now. Okay, this one, extract. There we go. $170 by the looks of it. Nope. Okay. Is there a shortcut for setting the end to the last frame? Or to whatever the selected frame is? Or maybe set the cursor to the selected frame so I can do Control End. That would be handy. Okay. $164. Okay, elbow, elbow, shoulder, wrist handle. Bake action, visuals, bam. Okay, fantastic. Let's go over here. So extract hydrogen small, then extract hydrogen medium. Beautiful. Extract hydrogen large. Looks like one something. 147. Alright, what else? Oh, that's it. Swim forward. That's done, I believe. Okay. Let's do a test. Select objects, get rid. Okay. I think there's a bit of a difference between baked and raw, but it's better than nothing. And then let's do Control-Shift-O to open the project again, get rid of all the extras. Do that again. Beautiful. Okay. Well, there we go. Got it all back. So 67 is the duration of the swimming loop. Let's go swim left loop. Okay, the swim left loop should be kind of similar. Ooh. Let's not do that. Actually, let's do this. Like these two bones. And then go to idle. Copy the location. And then paste it in here. Really? Let's delete, reset, or idle. And then swim left, location rotation. Hmm. It's a good idea to be blocking the center view. Whoops. Yeah, let's get the major motion in first. Okay. Now that's both of them synchronized. We don't really want them to be synchronized. So we're just going to push it back. The hand gestures like the brother meme. Yeah. It's the largest to smallest. Working with the large motion first, and then we focus on the smaller stuff. Okay. Man, it would be nice if you could abbreviate rotation as just one property. Okay. The elbow deformations are nice. Yeah. Haven't actually paid too much attention to that. I think it's, for the most part, it's out of the view, so we don't really notice much shenanigans happening with it. Okay. Okay. Swim right is going to be flip version. If it was that easy. Fortunately, we can't really flip animations. Technically, you could flip the whole armature, but I think that's a bit too much chicanery for me. I'm just gonna animate the rotation here. Hmm. Interesting. What is this? Wrist handle. Rotation. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can do something here. That's technically the idea. Okay, I can't really preview what's happening to the left because the timeline's not going to let me go there. Hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Except for the rotation. Yeah, the rotation doesn't quite match up. We have to make a keyframe there and then duplicate it up here. Okay. I think keeping them more or less closely together might be better. Okay, something approximating this will do. Now, this is swim left. Now we gotta do swim right. Hmm. What can we do and how can we do it? That's fine. Let's go to idle. Ooh. Okay. Fascinating. Okay, let's make sure this is actually 60 frames. It's about 75 on the other one. Okay. Paste flipped option. Control C, Control Shift V instead of Control V. Paste flipped. On what? On frames? Let's see. Take this. A. Copy. As a matter of fact, we need to get rid of all these precursor frames. Okay, so we copy. Go to the right. And then it's supposed to be placed in here. And it says Control Shift V. Here. Huh. Does that look right? It could technically work out. Let's see. I'm gonna copy everything here. Actually, swim left. Select, Control C. Forward. Oh, swim right. And then we select this guy. And then delete these. Whoa. Control Shift V. Oh, no way. That actually worked. So the fact that I had .l on all the bone names helps with the flipping for the animations. Control Shift V. Man, that is awesome. Just need to fix up that wrist. Oh man, that's just beautiful. And then we can fix up the elbow. That is awesome. Okay, dude, thank you. I wouldn't have minded to redo the animation. It would give it an option to make it totally unique. But yeah, this works pretty well. Nice. Okay, what's happening here? Okay, that's almost perfect. Okay, let me try that again. So, we go swim left. Maybe I didn't select all the frames. Select everything. Control C. Then go swim right. Select everything. Location rotation. Control V. Maybe it's the act of me inserting the frames. Control Shift V. And then delete this. Bring this back. And that worked, more or less. Seems like these ones are moving a little bit too quickly. Mm-hmm. Maybe instead of having it be rotated this way, I'm going to rotate it this way so it doesn't fight against the current. Hey, Steven. Well, that seems a little awkward. Maybe it's the fist. Maybe the rotation is a little bit awkward. Okay, it's a little bit better. How do you select the child bone? If you move your mouse over any bone and press L, it'll select all the linked objects, just like you do in 3D with vertex and face selections. Okay, I think this could work. Let's swim left. Yeah, sure. feel like it stops moving. Wrist handle. Oh, that's L. I need R. Oh, yeah. That's why it stops moving. It's because it actually does stop moving. Okay. And I see that thumb twitch. Come on now. I have chosen, or been chosen, to go shopping for supplies while at work. So the boss doesn't have to. Missed everything from the stream so far. What are you, working for Breen? Or is he selecting you for one of his finest residential facilities? Okay. At least it's not Kleiner telling you that you can procreate now. Okay. So that works. Now we need to have a back animation. Also, this is why all of the bones had magical frames behind. Let's duplicate this. So swim, back loop. Okay. What should this be? Let's make this one 70. I feel like they should really come from the outside. Okay, let's flare up those fingers because they look awkward as heck. Okay. Oh man, HTML canvas. Ooh. I distinctly recall attempting to create an entire graphical user interface um, application using HTML canvas. Biggest problem was detecting when you click on the virtual buttons, because you have to do, the good old, is the mouse higher than the left edge, lower than the top edge, less than the right edge, higher than the bottom edge, and the left click was executed. And then you kind of know that you've clicked on the button, but then if two buttons overlap each other, you have to figure out which one's on top. You know, the good old gooey, ooey gooey fun stuff. But yeah, pretty good. Collision detection. Non-existent. You gotta write your own collision detection code. At least it's fun times. Okay, I think the camera is the one that has the jerky movement. Yep. Nice. Okay, now let's see here. So we do this. We select wrist and all of its posses. Actually, we haven't done the thumb yet, have we? Okay, now we select the wrist and all of its posses. Copy. Select this wrist and all of its posses. And then just move that out of the way. Paste. Actually, we got to do Control Shift V. There we go. Just dropped your phone half asleep. Oh no. Don't sacrifice your sleep on my account. Okay. Everything looks great, aside from the fact that it looks exceptionally creepy. That it's just perfectly synchronized together. Let's just do this. Hmm. Looks like we're trying to put a spell on something. The college was sampled to get the walls. Oh, that's interesting. Kind of reminds me when I was doing some tests with 3D in GameMaker Studio, and the way I was trying to do terrain collisions is I sampled the color of the height map at the X Y position or XZ position of the player, and I just set the player's Y position to be according to the color of the height map. So it wasn't actually collisions. It was just like really, really janky approximation, which is kind of funny. And I would imagine if there were any obstacles, I'd probably handle them the same way if I continued going with that insanity. Okay, let's say for now this is okay. Watched a movie with my buddy. We went on a full day fishing excursion. Didn't catch shit, but ended up having some fun anyways. It was his first time fishing. We took a drive to a lake that was an hour away from home, um, and it was a hot day, so of course nothing is gonna be nothing's gonna be catching. You got to be out there in the rainy days or very cloudy and cold days. But we ended up doing some fun stuff. We took our compound bows with us, went to the forest, shot some targets. I lost two of my arrows, and one of them was lodged in the middle of a tree. And when I pulled it out, the metal tip was still inside the tree, and I'm like, ah, oh, fuck. Okay, I'm not spending money at Bass Pro Shop on these things. I'm buying the Amazon ones if I'm losing these things that this easily. The hell with that. They do the Bass Pro Shop. It's like, don't buy Amazon ones. They'll break easily. It's like, motherfucker, I lost my first arrow in the soil. Okay? I'm never finding it. Okay? Archaeologists 1,000 years later are going to be digging that fucker up and saying, oh, this must have been where the Chinese dynasty was. And the side of the arrow says made in China. Fuck, man. Yeah, no, I'm buying the cheap ass arrows if I'm going to be losing them that easily. Um, but it was exceptionally fun, really fun. We got eaten by freaking mosquitoes. Which, is there such a thing as an effective mosquito repellent? I've seen everything from like from sunscreen type things to fire. All right, yeah. Well, yes, smoke, sure, but what else? I've seen these curly light up things like scent sticks or something, which is basically smoke, right? It's very controlled, minimal fire. Um, it would have been a heck of a lot more fun if we weren't getting attacked by like swarms of mosquitoes. As soon as we two pasty white dudes walk into the forest, the nearby pond, and all of the mosquito population just went, dinner. We're having white meat tonight. That wasn't really all that fun. But the shooting of the bows, ah man, that was hella fun. My shoulder was hurting for 2 days straight after that. Um, Probably gonna see about going into like a field next time around. Went to Home Depot, bought some foam, glued it together into some impromptu uh, testing sites or targets. And yeah, that was fun. We ended up watching a movie to wrap up the night called Midsummer. Very interesting movie. I think it was from the same guy who made Hereditary, which is really interesting. There's an underlying theme with these horror movies, but man, the film was better than I expected. At least it does the decency of following the standard standard film writing routines, like never ending a scene the way it starts, and then making sure that everything gets resolved through a conflict. That's when it's actually interesting to watch. Okay, what if I bring this a little bit closer? Asteroid City, too tired to handle it. I gotta find me some interesting sci-fi mystery movies. Currently watching The Contact. Okay, that could work. Arrival. I did watch Arrival. It was alright. Predestination. Okay, that's on my list. Source Code was really nice. Yeah, I don't like this thing turning too quickly. Rotation, and just gonna move this over here and get rid of you. Okay, and I don't want them turning in a synchronized manner. It's not really nice looking. Okay, cool. We have it. We got it. It's protected. Okay. Alrighty, so that's the animations. Let's go ahead and export. I think we should still have everything in place, and hopefully the custom animation frames are still going to be there for the insertion and extraction of the fuel cells. All right. Yes, this is what we want. Engine, models, player, FPS hands, and Godot. Woo. Alrighty. Yeah, the first export's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. Any day now. Thank you. Oh, no, still working on it. I don't understand. Why is it the first export is always taking a while? Is it like up spinning my drive? What is their top spin? It's a new drive. It's sending my files to Godot Foundation for approval. Okay. All right, let's do a quick adjustment because we know that the animation is not quite there. Swim. Swim. Okay. Swim forward. Yes. All right, hopefully it still works. And it's broken. All right, what do we got? Probably no such animation name. Animation not found. Swim forward. Well, what the heck is that? Swim back? Oh, just swim. What the heck? No, it's not. Oh, it might be. Is it? Hold on a second. Am I using NLA animation exports? Hold on a second. Animation actions. We're exporting actions. Just keep swimming. Oh, you know. Gotta get it working though. Swim forward, and it's just called swim. I bet it is called swim forward here. Nope, it's called swim. What the heck? And it's broken too. No, it's not. Okay. That's called swim.res. Is that why? Okay, hold on a second. Is there a frame? No, the custom frame is gone too. It was for the pushing of us forward.
Okay, this is a little weird. Import. Come on.
Swim back, swim left, swim right. These things should still be there. Nope, it's just that. Nope. Okay. Ah. Okay. It's because we have a bunch of pre-frames that we don't want. Okay, we might actually have to start exporting as NLA tracks rather than NLA rather than actions, because we have some pre-frames that we don't want to be exporting. All right, well, do we have all of them in the NLA editor? Let's see. Swim loop. Right. We gotta fix this mess. Swim forward loop. Extract hydrogen cell large. We need to do this. Extract hydrogen cell medium. So since we're going to be exporting by the NLA editor, NLA tracks, we need to make sure the names actually match. Insert. Disembodied. Yep. As long as we don't pan the camera too far, right? Bottom right, the tracks are. This one? I assume it's this one. This one, it's called the nonlinear animation editor. This is where you can combine multiple animation tracks to merge and blend them together. Like if you have a gun forward, gun reload, gun melee attack, and then you have a separate leg run and leg walk, or leg standing, or leg leaning, you don't have to like reanimate each and every single one of them. You can just do your legs separately, do your arms separately, and then just blend them together by overlapping multiple tracks. It's kind of like blend modes in Godot, except you know it's just done with the tracks themselves. So yeah, you can mix and match various animations together, and in this case, I'm using them to blend, not blend, but to store the animations and then export them by exporting just these clips rather than exporting the actions from here. And the benefit of that is that if you have an animation that has a bunch of like pre-frames, like my swim, one of the swims, swim left, swim right, something in here has a bunch of frames that kind of go a little bit before. It allows us to say, nope, we just want the animation of such and such only from frame 0 to frame 10, right? Or you can like cut out a slice of the animation, only use that one, as long as we do it properly. But curious enough, I don't actually see any animations that still have, oh, let's go pose mode, that still have frames to the left of the 0 mark. Oh, here. Swim back loop. Which actually, I don't know what the heck that is. Oh, that was one of the arms. I had to offset the animation by pushing it back a little bit so that the hands wouldn't push at the same time, looking all creepy like. So either I place a frame and then record it. I think it's one of them. Something in here. It's the fingers. That's what they are. So either I place a keyframe here and then try to match it on the other side, or I can just trim it in the NLA editor and export NLA tracks. Okay. Now, why don't I actually do the following? Instead of torturing ourselves with this, we're just gonna do this. Swim back loop animation apparently has a bunch of frames that go back, which kind of makes sense. Let's push it down, and then I'm going to tell this the frame starts at 0. Let's see. If I do this, starts at 0. No, that's the beginning location of it. Action clip. Flame start 0. Okay. And is 70. There we go. And then the track is called Swim Back Loop. Lock that up so we don't mess with it. Swim forward loop. This one we could just push in. How can you make different resolutions in the game? Well, user interface is usually placed in the viewport container. Or not a viewport container, canvas layer. Canvas layer would display it in native screen resolution. if you place things like rich text labels and buttons and everything into the game itself, so when the camera zooms in and out, the buttons zoom in and out, you're basically making your buttons be subject to the game resolution. And if you're making a small resolution game, then the buttons are also going to be small resolution. And the solution to that would be to place your buttons into a viewport container, which isn't subject to the camera resolution. Okay, so there we go. I think that's good. Let's do swim left. We could just push these things in. Swim right loop. Okay, swim right seems to have a bunch of preframes. So we're going to do 0, 0. And let's make sure we disable those. And then 70 frames is the duration. Okay, that's good. Save it up. Let's keep going. Idle. We should probably have some motion in the idle. Yeah, okay. 70 frames, sure. Looks like it was 100 frames before. So maybe we'll just adhere to that. Should use a canvas layer of a parent of 3D game. Well, no, that would mean you're putting the game itself into a canvas layer. If you want the whole game to be in lower resolution, like a PS2 or PS1 style game, and you want to mimic that pixely look, then you actually want to set the whole game to have a smaller resolution. And then for the HUD, you'd want to place the HUD into the canvas layer. So the HUD would be higher quality. Okay, that's good. Okay, except that's supposed to be completely opposite. Let's actually move this whole thing off. Okay. That's good. We don't want no static thumbs. We don't want no static digits. Okay. Nice. Beautiful. All right, this will do for now. This will do for now. Save it up. If you want some good sprites for character dialogues, yeah, so just place your user interface into a canvas layer. That will detach it from the resolution of the whatchamacallit, the resolution of the game. If that's not enough, then you will want to have your game be inside of a viewport and a sub-viewport container. So the viewport is basically kind of like another virtual space, and it has its own renderer. So if you have two viewports, which is what you usually do for split screen games, then you do two rendering passes. So if you want your game to look a lot lower resolution, like severely lower resolution, you'd want to place your game, your 3D part of the game, into a viewport. And then when you use a viewport and a viewport container, you can actually define a custom resolution of that viewport. And if you make it low enough, maybe even lower than 640 by 480, and then scale it up, then you're going to get your really low resolution gameplay on top of nice, crispy user interface. If you really want to push the effect. That's how I would do it. Okay, so that's good. Idle is done, except it needs to start with a 0 frame. Frame start 0. Okay. Actually, it also needs to last only 100 frames. Nice. Beautiful. All right, what else do we need to stash here? Extract. I think we could just push these. Hydrogen large, hydrogen medium, hydrogen small. We have a push down button here we can use. And then insert. Insert medium. Insert small. Okay, do we have reset? We don't. So reset, push down, and what else? Nothing else. I think everything else is here. All right, so we got all of our tracks. Maybe a reset should actually be a little bit longer. Like this. No, you know what? That's fine. 1 frame's enough. Okay, cool. So now, when we export, we're going to choose Godot preset. And then for the animations, we're going to go to Annulate Tracks. And let's call this preset Godot NLA. Yay. Everything else is still the same. Placeholders, yes. Okay, FPS hand, export. Let's see here. Come on now. Let me get this out of the way. Man, too many tools are starting to implement AI for no apparent reason. AI this, AI that. Oops. Okay. Cool. So that's here. We're going to get this thing to import it now. Okay. Swim back, forward. Everything's there. Now, big question is, do we have the custom tracks? Yes, we still have the custom tracks. Good. All right. Perfect. And, okay, so that's just playing forward. We haven't programmed it to play anything else. It's working. We haven't animated the camera for the other swims, but at least we'll have something up and running. Okay, so should we have it prioritize the forward animation? I don't think blending swim cycles is going to be necessary here. We're doing like a animation tree type deal. We could say that if we're doing forward or backward, it will prioritize the forward or backward animation. But if we're doing left and right, that would be secondary. Although it would look... maybe. On the Godot side, no. It's still just animations. Sometimes if you do an animation, you want it to be a perfect loop. You want to kind of trim the very last frame, because you can feel that when it reaches the end of the animation, because the last frame and the first frame are exactly the same, then there's a very tiny minute pause, and you can feel it, right? So one way you can avoid that is if you make the animation loop just one frame before the last one. In that case, it looks seamless, and you can do that with the NLA tracks by trimming it by like one single frame, like this, right? And that's it. When you export the NLA tracks, it will export that animation minus the last pose, which will make it feel actually perfectly looped. Otherwise, you still have to, if you don't use that approach and you use actions export, you have to meticulously adjust each and every frame and kind of trim it and cut it off and adjust it so that it looks seamless out of the box. So yeah, it's a dirty little trick. Okay, so we have forward swimming. I wonder if I might have to use blend trees. If I might have to use blend trees. Blend trees and blend between the different swimming cycles, and then toggle between using and not using the blend tree when I'm doing all these other animations. Maybe? Let me try this. Animation tree. I guess you'll know. Blend tree. Nothing connected to the input. Yeah. We're gonna do blend space 2D. Okay. Swim. Then I need to place some animations. It doesn't know what animations to place because we haven't told it what animation player to use. That would be FPS hands 1. So now, there we go. Swim forward. Swim back. Swim left. Swim right. Oh yeah, we have these things. Okay, and then we'll connect this here. And then I find it a little asinine that there's 3 different modes just to either move around or edit these things. Have you never heard of control? Okay, there we go. And then we can just have it swim backwards, and then switch to swimming forward, and then switch to left, and then switch to right. Yeah, that works. And then we don't have to do anything on the state machine side or coding side, aside from just adjusting this little value. And I guess we can place idle in the middle. Albeit that might be a problem. Because when it has to go from forward to the backward, it will have to go through idle, which might look a little awkward. So maybe we'll do it here. Okay, we'll do a single animation, which is going to be idle. And then we can do blend 2. This is going to be the starting animation, which is idle, and we're blending it with this. And then, yeah, we can switch between these two this way. Okay, idle, swim, blend is what we're going to call it. This is idle, and this is swim. Cool. All right. That's good. Let's see about actually making this controllable. So we know that swim blend space is what we want to control. We can actually find all of those blend properties here in the parameters. Swim blend position. Okay. So for now, okay, here we have idle. We have idle. Idle means we're free to roam around and do regular player stuff. That's what idle means. Okay, so here's what I can try to do. I'm gonna see about using the animation tree. We're gonna set the parameter. What parameter? Is it listed here? Hey, look at that. I think it is. Swim blend position. What are we blending it to? We're blending it to the movement target vector. So whatever buttons we're pressing, that's where it's going to be moving that to. That's beautiful. Love it. I think I left the tree in idle state. Yes. So that also has to be controlled. Okay. Now right now we're doing left swim. And then we're doing right swim. Now immediately we can see that it's just la 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 la.
I want to show you my ninjutsu.
Okay. Right, so we don't want it to be immediate. We want it to smoothly transition. So let's do this. Let's do var swim blend. And it is going to smoothly transition. I could use a separate variable. Fastest face slapper in the West. He works as a TSA agent. He's about to pat you down. You will feel violated. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay, we need to get the current position and then smoothly interpolate it to a new position. And then this swim blend becomes whatever's in here. Okay, this may not work as I expect, but let's see. So swim blend, we can't do plus equals. We're going to make it equals to, we're going to get current swim blend. We're gonna get the parameter. You know, if we could figure out how to talk to this parameter directly without using get or set, that might make things a little bit easier for us. Let me see if we can actually pull this off. Like this. And then we do parameters. And then we do that. That. I doubt it's gonna work. But let's see. Please tell me this can be done. Nope. It don't like. Invalidate index parameters and base animation tree. Of course there's parameters. Get process animation mixer. Root node. Find animation. I recall being surprised there was some other way that we can talk to this parameter. I mean, I didn't know that that was a thing, and I cannot recall what it was. Godot set animation tree parameter. Pentameter. Yes, beautiful. Using animation tree. Animation tree square brackets. Yes, that was the way. Okay. Thank you. That's right. So it's like a weird subarray type thing. Okay. Yes. Let's see here. Nice. Okay, perfect. So now that we can do that, I can do the following. So we'll take this plus equals target value minus current value divided by 10. Okay. So that should smoothly transition this value. Like this. And then we can do that. Except this is going back right now. And this is going forward. Okay, we just need to flip the y-axis. Times vector 3. Keep x. The y has to be flipped. Vector 2 then. Okay. Alright, that could work. And then if we're not moving anywhere, it will play the idle. Nice. Man, this is actually working. Nice. Alright. That's none of this stuff is required. Okay, so we need to make sure that we transition another parameter, which is going to be the idle, the blend between idle, this one. Idle swim blend. Okay, so let's do parameters. Which one is it? Blend amount. Okay, so this parameter. Okay. Let's transition between 0.0 if the movement vector is vector to 0. So if we're not touching the keyboard, that would be 0, else it will be 1.0, which means we're swimming. So it's going to transition between either this or that. And we need to subtract the current amount divided by 10. Cool. Is it better to reparent the node object, delete and instantiate? When the flashlight, I assume you're talking about the flashlight in the Dreadtail project. So I instantiate an object, place it into the world, and I use a bone attachment node and remote transform to hold it, to have the player hold it. That way, when you want to drop it, I just unparent the remote transform and it just falls off. Yeah, I've learned to keep the hands separate. Oh man, the sideways, the strafing, the strafing actually works. Let's see. Well, it works kind of okay. Oh man, this is cool. So we just got a pretty nice working strafing swimming animation just by blending the forward and the left. And it kind of works. It's not the best looking, but it works enough. There we go. Okay, and then it's a little goofy. It's like, oh, I don't know how to swim. All right, that's fine. Let's slow down the transition a little bit. Let's go 30. Okay. All right, and now we have this whole animation handling feature where it's doing something here. What are we doing here? The forward swim has nothing, right? Because we lost the animation. Okay, we have a function here that was being executed when we swim, which is thrust, swim, thrust forward. Okay, there we go. Swim forward. Now we have a speed here, and it causes us to add to the linear velocity forward direction times thrust speed minus speed. Okay. Now I need to change this so that we can do it in all four directions. What's the easiest way to do it? Direction forward? Yeah, sure. Okay. And then here, let's do match direction. If it's forward, then we do this. If it's backward, then we do positive speed. Okay. And then if it's left, then linear velocity is going to borrow from our x-axis. And I think it has to be negative x-axis. And then if it's right, it's going to be positive x-axis from the camera. Okay, so now swim forward. We need to save these animations now so that we can add tracks to them. Okay, swim forward, enables, keep custom tracks, animations, player. Swim forward. Enable, animations. Swim back. Enable, save, animations, player. Swim left. Oh no. The low blood sugar is catching up to me. Swim right. Okay, that's good. Re-import. Cool. Let's get back to the player. Swim forward. So, okay. So this is the tree is going to be taking over. Blend amount. Is there a global blend for this thing? Hmm. Right. Active. So just gonna disable it for a moment. Let's move forward. And then right here, we want to add a call method track on the player. And that's going to be added down here. And this is swim forward. And then FW is by default. And I think that's good. We're going to re-enable this. Let's give that a test. Okay. That's a little interesting. Don't shoot. I give up. What the heck? What's happening? Why is it not doing my bidding? Okay. Interesting. You can blend into the negative or positive. Okay. Fascinating. Idle. Idle. I did re-enable it. It should be active now. Huh. Okay, this might present problems because we execute some animations through directly addressing animation player, and some of them are addressed through here. That's really weird. Is it not a loop anymore? Hold on a sec. Loop mode none. That's probably the what happened. Somehow the looping property had been cleared. Import. Okay. Is that the issue? No, it's not. Okay, cool. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let's pause it here. It's been 2.5 hours. We'll figure this out in the next one, and yeah, start clearing things off with the to-do list. So be back maybe 20-ish minutes. Maybe. Might be a bit longer than that. Maybe like an hour and a bit, because I gotta go for a walk. Cool. All right, fellas. See you in a bit.